All right, folks. I'm almost to Albuquerque. I pulled off here in Belen, and I was hungry, and I've been craving Arby's. So I stopped and got me some Arby's and curly fries to eat. I hit the spot. It was actually, I got two of them, and it was more than I could eat. I threw away about half a sandwich. I just don't eat as much as I used to. But I thought I'd start part 3 here. And again, new to my channel, please subscribe. If you're one of the people who's been with me, thanks for staying. And I'm going to go ahead and let this run from here on into the hotel. It shouldn't be more than about maybe, I don't know. I know it shouldn't be more than about 30 minutes, so. And old Mr. I ain't in a hurry, you know. The one thing I got with this Chevy Spark, the only thing that I'm really not fond of is it doesn't have cruise control. So, old Mr. I ain't in a hurry, look down, I'm doing 80 mile an hour, you know. So it's been a really pleasant drive. Traffic has not been bad. But going into Albuquerque, it's gonna start getting to be a bunch of traffic. But it's been a real pleasant drive. Not having to hurry, you know. I just took my time, and won't be long now. I'll be done driving for the day. It's right in here. This is kind of on the west side of the river here, of the Rio Grande. I was surprised that Elephant Butte looked like the water was coming up. It looked a little better than it did a couple years ago. I hope you enjoyed that tour of that Riverside campground. That's a really nice place to stay. It's a lot cooler, you know. It'd be at least 10 degrees cooler down there with all the trees in the summertime, so that helps a little bit. And then the river's right there. I like to fish in the river. I like to fish for catfish, and there's a lot of leatherback turtles in the river right there. Last time my wife and I was camping there on the east side of the river, there's a big sandy bank there, and those leatherbacks were coming out of the river and laying their eggs up there in that sandy spot. And there was a bunch of them. I guess those leatherbacks, they're pretty ornery. I guess they'll bite you and stuff. I guess they got a pretty good beak on them. But it was fun watching them come up out of the river and everything. This sure has changed a lot. I stopped back there in Belen, and it was a brand new Love's truck stop, but heck, that wasn't there the last time I was up this way. But I haven't been to Albuquerque in a good long time. I got 30 miles to Albuquerque, so we should stay probably in that 30-minute mark or so on this part 3 of the trip. Hope y'all are having a good day. It's nice not having to get up this morning and go to work. I kind of getting tired of that working, you know. God, it seems like I've worked my whole life. I started working when I was 12 years old. I washed dishes in a Mexican restaurant, Pancho's Cafe, and then in the summertime I went up to Walden, Colorado, up in they call it North Park. Beautiful hay ranches up there, cattle ranches and hay ranches. And starting when I was 12 years old, I'd go up in the summer and work in the hay fields. All of us, a lot of my friends, well, my best friend at the time, his grandmother and uncles owned a big ranch, and first summer I worked up there, I was with Rick on the Latham's ranch, and we really had a good time. We had our own private bunkhouse because they kept us separated from the men, because a lot of those men were pretty heavy on the whiskey bottles. They were drinking whiskey, and then some of them were winos, drinking wine. And we were working up there, and there was this one old guy that worked there, and Rick and I, neither one of us liked him. And they had a baler that he pulled behind the tractor. They had, you know, older equipment. And that thing would get jammed, and then there was a key up in there, like a pin, and it would shear off when that thing jammed, and he'd have to climb up inside it to replace that pin. So I was running a side delivery rake, raking the hay up into windrows, and I out there raking, and I come across a dead skunk, and so I got that raked over there so it would be in the windrow he was coming down to bale. And lo and behold, when he got to that skunk got in the baler and jammed the baler and broke that pin. So he grabbed his wrenches and a hammer and all that, and he climbed up in that baler. And that skunk was stinking. He climbed up in there, and boy, he backed out of there in a hurry, and he was a gagging and a puking. I really got him on that one. And Rick saw what was going on, couldn't figure out why he was gagging and puking, you know, and I got to tell Rick later what I'd done. But we had a good time up there. Rick and I got us some white pet rats, and we had them in our bunkhouse in a pen, in a cage, and we had ended up getting a male and a female, and that female had a bunch of baby rats. So at the end of the summer, we knew our parents wasn't going to let us keep those rats, so we turned them loose on the ranch. His grandmother and his uncles never even knew we had them. So the ranch kind of got white rat infested until they got them all caught, got rid of them. But we had a good time. There was a real nice pond right just behind our bunkhouse. And I told Rick, I go, let's go swimming. He goes, oh, no, we ain't swimming in there. I said, why not? And he goes, that pond's full of leeches. I said, no. And he said, come on. He got a fishing pole, and there was a lot of fish in that pond. He caught a fish, reeled that fish in, and it had leeches stuck to it. He goes, there you go. You don't want to fish. You don't want to go swimming in there. You'll be covered in leeches. So we left that alone. Man, I've been working ever since I was 12. I'm really getting tired of working. But I guess I'll be working when I'll probably have to call in sick the day they throw that first shovel full of dirt in my face. And where I work now, my boss would probably say, well, other than being dead, is there any reason you can't come in today? There's a Jayco travel trailer right in front of us. My old 1992 Class C 27-foot RV is a Jayco. And I think that, I don't know how they're built now, but the one I own was built really, really good. We're starting to come into traffic now, a bunch of trucks. This is still kind of pretty here. It's probably smog, it's hazy. Probably all smog. And I look down, I'm doing 80 again, and that's not like me. 75 is plenty fast for me, and I normally don't drive that. Don't run over about 65, but it seems like I got kind of a lead foot today for some reason. Yeah, we just went through Los Lunas. There's a great big Walmart warehouse there, receiving warehouse. I used to have to deliver in there a lot when I was driving over the road. Yeah, we're coming up to coming up on it. Isleta. That's a Native American tribe. Isleta Pueblo. I think they were, well, that's the name of the tribe, Isleta. They're a tribe of their own. And won't be too long up here. There's casinos here now. I like to play blackjack. I thought about stopping at casino on my way into town and playing a little blackjack, but I'm a pretty good blackjack player, so if I got in there and I started winning, I wouldn't want to leave. So I think I'll just I don't think I'll be going to the casino. I'm gonna see if I can get off. There should be marked on 25 up here when we get into town. The exit for the cancer center, it should be marked. I think I'll get off there. I know you get off and get off the freeway, and then it'll be to the right. I'll have to take a right. And I can get over there to pick up University, get off the freeway and pick up University and make a left on University, and it'll take me straight to my hotel. My hotel's on the corner of Manal and University. It should work out pretty good. I talked to him when I called to make sure my reservation had gone through, because I'd never used Priceline before. I don't know if I told you. I called Wyndham, you know, who I used to work for, and used to make hotel reservations for Wyndham, and they wanted $120 for the room, and I go, oh my God, that's a lot for a room on a Monday. So I got a hold of Priceline and got the room for like I think it was $86 or $87. So saved quite a bit going through Priceline, but I'd never used Priceline before. So I wanted to make sure that the reservation went through, because I didn't want to get to the hotel and they go, what room, you know? And it went through, and I asked them if I could get a late checkout, and because normally, you know, checkout's like 11, and so I asked them, you know, if I could get a late checkout at noon. That'd give me time to get something to eat before I have to be at the hospital at 1 o'clock. Crossing the Rio Grande right now. See if there's any water in it here. Yeah, isn't that crazy? The river's full. So that's going down to Elephant Butte. That'll help. One of the problems that we have with Elephant Butte is there's a lot of farmland here in the valley, and they're sucking that water out, irrigating. And so they pull all the water out irrigating up here, and then the water don't make it down to Elephant Butte for our farmers. So they're trying to figure out a way to eliminate some of that. But and the way this spring has been, I really hope that we end up getting some good monsoons, you know, because man, when I moved here, that 4th of July, it would start raining, and it would rain all the way through July and sometimes into, a couple of weeks of August. And when I say rain, I mean it rained. I lived out on east of town, out on the East Mesa, and the water had run across that desert like a river. Yeah. So we used to really get a lot of rain during the monsoon. So hopefully it'll come back. Maybe this drought's over. But it sure has lasted a long time. When I moved here, Elephant Butte was plumb full of capacity. It was right up to the top of the dam. And it almost dried up during this drought. Coming into Albuquerque now, you can see the difference. Look at all the traffic. It really doesn't bother me to drive in this stuff though, because I drove semis over the road for 20 years. And Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, LA. Man, you talk about traffic. Really have it there. But I enjoyed driving a semi. 20 years I pretty much lived in a semi. They kept getting nicer and nicer as the years went by. I like being alone, so it was a perfect fit for me. And, the last, I don't know, probably 10 years, I had everything in that truck you could imagine. I had microwave, refrigerator. Of course, you had air conditioning and heat and everything, so warm in the winter, cool in the summer, nice comfortable bed. So I kind of miss being in a truck. It was really hard to, when I give it up, it was really hard to, because I used to be in someplace different, about every day, If I was 2 or 3 days in the same place, that was a long time. I was always someplace else. I've been in every state in the United States except Alaska and Hawaii. I've been to Canada. I don't know. I've been to Canada a handful of times. I don't know what the speed limit is here. I was running 75. I better slow her down a little bit. I'm trying to watch for a sign that'll get me off, and I can maybe go by the hospital. Oops, gotta change lanes. This lane's ended. Let's see. Yeah, I think I still got a ways. I got to get pretty much right downtown here. See an exit to the airport up here, Sunport. looked at my map they sent me because it had a street name there. I can't remember it for the life of me. And there's a big Air Force base here in Albuquerque, Kirtland Air Force Base. Try to find your way around Albuquerque, it'd drive you crazy because you know, most towns, you know, they set up the streets where they run east and west, north and south. Not Albuquerque. They run northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. There's nothing in here that runs east and west, north and south. It's confusing as all get out to try to get around this town. And I never have been real fond of Albuquerque. It's just too busy. And well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Life and Times of Crazy Patrick. On this part that I just put on, I had to stop the video at this point. Because some idiot in a pickup, I was doing 65 in a 55-mile-an-hour speed zone, and this guy tries to run over me, honking his horn and giving me the one-finger wave, and before I could stop myself, a F-bomb popped out of my mouth. So I went ahead and I'm stopping this video here. And the video was about over anyway. I was just about to my exit. I want to thank you for hanging with me. My subscribers that stayed with me. Anybody watching this that's new, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you're the only ones that can help me do that. And it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. I'm never going to beg people or ask people for money or anything else. I just want YouTube to start paying me, you know, for my time. So help me out if you can. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. So with that, I want to tell everybody, have a great rest of your day. Stay positive, and God bless.